Foust. I come from Manhattan, Kansas. I always wait between Manhattan and Kansas, so you'll think I'm from the Big Apple and not the little.
The Flint Hills. I made a little side trip there.
Yeah. No, and I went to school in Lawrence, which I like a lot better than Manhattan. But I've lived in Manhattan for 25 years. I was a vocational rehab counselor. And so all this building stuff was just this compulsion that I had on the side, or the fact that I had like 4 kids and we couldn't afford to do anything. You had to do everything yourself, right? It's like, make enough money to. Well, and I also lived in a little farmhouse, and I just started renovating stuff, and I liked insulation. I worked with this foam stuff, and I started working with the glue, and I mean, just things just sort of happened. And like I say, I learned how to do PEX plumbing, so this has all got PEX plumbing in it. And I've done enough wiring. I'd never done anything with 12 volts, so I had to learn how to do 12 volt. But I've installed photovoltaic panels on residential houses, and I have put hot water solar heating. I had a hot water solar heating business in 1980 when they had a tax credit for air and water heating systems, but they weren't very efficient like photovoltaics. So it was a lot neater and sweeter to use. But so that's what I did with most of my time. So then, this. Now, have I shown you any of the inside?
No.
Oh my gosh! Watch your step. This is not that easy to use. This is another one of those things you just build as you can build it. And so these are the old bar strip cases that came out of my dad's law office. And then this is like an old cabinet thing, of course, an old door, restore sink, restore stuff. A wood cedar chest that my great-grandfather made for my grandmother found its place in here.
Cool.
And I haven't shown you this, guys.
No.
Okay, watch. So here's my shower curtain. It can be over here, but it comes over here to make privacy. But then it allows me to bring out my entire closet. And so that when I take a shower, I also just slide my towels out. And I got a full shower, full 32-inch shower stall that has the toilet, of course, in it, and does double duty with clothing storage. So that's
very cool.
Yeah. God, yes. I don't know which things I have said to anybody yet, but anyway, so I just put solar on it I only built this. I bought this van in July of the year before last, or the year before this, 1 year ago. Anyway, spent like months building this front part because this is where the back of the trailer ended. It was like, there's the 2-inch foam walls, just like they are. I just cut the wall parts out, and so I could just hook this part to it and built these little storage units on the side for my propane and my storage stuff. And stuck the two together. I was telling him probably I jacked up the trailer and built this part and stuck it on here, incompleted, but that part anyway. Backed the truck up under the trailer, the trailer, and dropped it on there, and it stuck everything together. So as I tell people, there was no plan, no real design, just sort of it just junk I had around, like the wainscoting that's on, and all the wood that's glued on the outside, stuff I just had around. They're found it really cheap at the restore. Yeah, like.
Remind me of a timber framing a little bit. I mean, you don't have studs. It's just these.
That's right. It's actually, it's kind of like what they call SIPS panels, structurally reinforced panels. Normally, they they make these panels. They press tight together, and you can take them out and just set them up and they usually put boards between them and screw them together. So it's the same concept that I stole from them. But then the wrapping it in canvas is kind of like what they do when they make boats. I mean, that's how they make a boat watertight. They glue them on there, and they call it poor man's fiberglass. So it's all kind of the same idea, design-wise. So let's see. Oh, you should see. Just take a pause, and we'll show you the outside. The outside is just, so this is flooring boards. They're like 1/8 of an inch thick. I glued them on here. This is wainscoting I found. They glued on here, and if you won't get in the sun, and I got an old wooden ironing board that fits in here, and this is just the storage area. On the other side, the storage area has 2 propane tanks and my water pump and a instant hot water heater. And so I used a lot of parts off of an old Murphy bed, which includes that. And my headliner thing is actually a piece of an old Murphy bed. And I used a lot of the wood from that Murphy bed in different places around on the van.
That's
Surprisingly,
great.
I come around to the rear front. You probably saw the window from the outside.
Uh-huh.
But My closing bullshit line is the name I gave to my vehicle, using the letters that I found that were on it when I bought it, right? So I had a couple of extra D's, and I rearranged the rest of them, and so what I have now is my ego, my giant, oversized ego is right here, parked in the
Ego SS.
Ego SS. Well, that'd be my super ego and my, I don't know what the other one is, super sport. That was my ego, my giant, oversized ego is right here, parked in the
Ego SS.
Ego SS. Well, that'd be my super ego and my, I don't know what the other one is.
That's not the Nazi thing.
No, yeah, right. No, the SS used to mean super sport back when I was a kid. But this said Sportsman. This was the brand of this vehicle was a Sportsman, and so I just broke the rest of the letters off and stuck the SS because it's kind of like super ego and my id and my. I know.
33 by 60.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
32 by.
And so so instant water heaters. So what I was able to do was to put, a bifold door that I got $5 at the restore onto here.
Great.
And that way it vents my water heater, and my propane is safely stored outside my main vehicle. So that part worked out.
That works good.
All right, you got your tape measure? We're gonna go.